She got up to go to work on Tuesday, January 24th, 2006, and did not make it to work.
When we're talking the South Orlando area, her condo, what area is that exactly?
The Mall of Millennia, which is kind of near Universal on Conroy. Jen had bought a condo directly across the street from Mall of Millennia. Moved in November 24th, and exactly 2 months later, on January 24th, she was abducted.
A disappearance happens when someone vanishes without a trace, leaving behind questions, concern, and an air of mystery. When a person is expected to be somewhere but fails to show up, or when they simply go off the radar, the search for answers begins. In this episode, we'll explore the circumstances around 3 disappearances, where the missing person left behind no clues, no evidence, and no witnesses to help solve the puzzle. From a girl who never got to work to a student who disappeared while shopping with friends, to a girl who disappeared during a trip and never returned, these cases are as chilling as they are intriguing. If you're fascinated by unsolved mysteries and want to join the search for answers, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. Get ready, because we're about to unravel the stories of people who disappeared without a trace. In the spring of 1998, the Bradley family embarked on what was supposed to be a dream vacation aboard the Rhapsody of the Seas, a Royal Caribbean cruise ship bound for the Caribbean. Among them was 23-year-old Amy Lynn Bradley, a vibrant young woman with a zest for life. The Bradleys looked forward to days of relaxation and adventure, eager to explore the sun-soaked beaches and vibrant cultures of the islands. For Amy, the cruise represented a chance to escape the pressures of everyday life and make cherished memories with her loved ones. As the ship set sail from San Juan, Puerto Rico, excitement filled the air. Amy reveled in the freedom of the open sea, her laughter mingling with the salty breeze as she soaked in the beauty of the Caribbean landscape. Little did the Bradleys know that their idyllic vacation would soon take a sinister turn, plunging them into a nightmare from which they would never fully awaken. And at the heart of it all was the inexplicable disappearance of their beloved daughter and sister, Amy Lynn Bradley. As the days passed aboard the Rhapsody of the Seas, the Bradley family reveled in the joys of cruising, indulging in sumptuous meals, relaxing by the pool, and exploring the ship's myriad amenities. But on the morning of March 24, 1998, their carefree voyage took a harrowing turn. Amy's father, Ron Bradley, awoke to find his daughter's cabin empty. Panic surged through him as he searched frantically for any sign of her, but Amy was nowhere to be found. The Bradley family's worst fears had been realized. Amy had vanished without a trace. The ship's crew was immediately notified, and a massive search operation was launched. Every corner of the vessel was meticulously examined, every passenger questioned, but there was no sign of Amy. It was as if she had simply vanished into thin air. As the hours turned into days, the Bradleys grappled with the agonizing uncertainty of their daughter's fate. Rumors swirled among the passengers, speculation ran rampant, but amidst the confusion, one question loomed large. What had happened to Amy Lynn Bradley? With no answers forthcoming and the cruise ship continuing its journey, the Bradleys were left to grapple with their grief and disbelief. Their once joyful vacation had transformed into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions, and the mystery of Amy's disappearance would haunt them for years to come. As news of Amy Lynn Bradley's disappearance spread beyond the confines of the cruise ship, authorities launched a widespread investigation spanning the Caribbean and beyond. Every lead was pursued, every possible scenario considered, but the truth remained elusive. The Bradleys refused to give up hope, determined to leave no stone unturned in their quest for answers. They distributed flyers bearing Amy's photograph, appeared on television appeals, and pleaded with the public for any information that might lead to their daughter's whereabouts. Reports began to surface of sightings of a woman resembling Amy in various locations throughout the Caribbean, in bars, on beaches, and even in brothels. Each lead sparked a glimmer of hope, but as quickly as they emerged, they evaporated into nothingness. Despite the Bradleys' unwavering determination and the tireless efforts of law enforcement, Amy Lynn Bradley remained missing, her fate shrouded in mystery. The Caribbean, once a place of enchantment and adventure, had become a labyrinth of uncertainty and despair. With each passing day, the burden of not knowing weighed heavily on the Bradley family. They clung to the hope that one day they would be reunited with their beloved daughter. But as the years stretched on, their optimism began to wane, and so the search for Amy Lynn Bradley continued, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring pain of those left behind. The mystery of her disappearance would linger in the hearts and minds of all who knew her, a testament to the enduring power of love in the face of unimaginable loss. On the evening of January 23, 2006, Jennifer Kesse returned to her cozy condominium in the Mosaic at Millennia Complex in Orlando, Florida, after a typical day at work. The 24-year-old financial analyst had plans for the night ahead, perhaps a quiet dinner, followed by some relaxation before another day in the office. As she stepped inside her condo, Jennifer's thoughts drifted to her upcoming wedding plans. Excitement filled her as she imagined walking down the aisle with her high school sweetheart, a future brimming with promise and possibility. Unbeknownst to Jennifer, this seemingly ordinary evening would be the last time she was seen by her loved ones. Little did she know, the shadows of uncertainty were already beginning to creep in, setting the stage for a baffling mystery that would grip the nation for years to come. The following morning, January 24, 2006, Jennifer Kesse's absence from work raised immediate concern among her colleagues. Jennifer was known for her punctuality and dedication, so when she failed to show up and didn't respond to calls or messages, red flags were raised. Anxious co-workers reached out to Jennifer's parents, Drew and Joyce Kesse, to express their worries. Upon learning of their daughter's unexplained absence, the Kesses rushed to her condominium in the Mosaic at Millennia Complex. Upon arrival, the Kesses were met with a disquieting scene. Jennifer's car, a 2004 Chevy Malibu, was parked in its usual spot. But Jennifer herself was nowhere to be found. Concern deepened as they entered her condo, finding no signs of a struggle or forced entry. Everything appeared eerily normal, as if Jennifer had simply stepped out for a moment and would return any minute. As hours ticked by with no sign of Jennifer and no activity on her phone or bank accounts, panic set in. The Kesses knew in their hearts that something was gravely wrong. Their daughter, vibrant and full of life, had seemingly vanished into thin air, leaving behind only unanswered questions and mounting fear. As news of Jennifer Kesse's disappearance spread, the community rallied around the Kesse family, offering support and assistance in any way they could. Flyers bearing Jennifer's image were plastered across Orlando, and volunteers joined law enforcement in search efforts spanning the city and surrounding areas. Despite the extensive search efforts, days turned into weeks, and Jennifer remained missing. Law enforcement combed through surveillance footage from the mosaic at Millennia Complex and surrounding areas, hoping for a clue that might lead to Jennifer's whereabouts. On February 8, 2006, a break in the case seemed imminent when surveillance footage from a nearby condominium complex captured what appeared to be Jennifer's car being parked by an unknown individual. However, the footage was grainy, and the person's identity remained obscured. As leads dried up and frustration mounted, the Kesse family refused to give up hope. They appeared on national television, pleading for information and urging anyone with knowledge of Jennifer's disappearance to come forward.
She got up to go to work on Tuesday, January 24th, 2006, and did not make it to work.
When we're talking the South Orlando area, her condo, what area is that exactly?
The Mall of Millennia, which is kind of near Universal on Conroy. Jen had bought a condo directly across the street from Mall of Millennia.
Despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering determination of the Kesse family, Jennifer's disappearance remained shrouded in mystery. The days turned into months, and the months turned into years, but Jennifer's fate remained unknown, leaving her family to grapple with the agonizing uncertainty of not knowing what had happened to their beloved daughter and sister. Years have passed since Jennifer Kesse vanished without a trace, yet her case remains unsolved, leaving a lingering sense of unease in the Orlando community and beyond. The mysterious circumstances surrounding her disappearance continue to haunt those who knew her and captivate the public's imagination. The Kesse family has dedicated themselves to keeping Jennifer's memory alive, tirelessly advocating for her and searching for answers. They've launched social media campaigns, maintained a website with information about Jennifer's case, and offered rewards for information leading to her whereabouts. Despite periodic tips and leads, the truth behind Jennifer's disappearance has remained frustratingly elusive. The lack of closure has taken a toll on the Kesse family, who continue to grapple with the pain of not knowing what happened to their daughter and sister. Jennifer's story serves as a sobering reminder of the dangers that exist in the world and the importance of remaining vigilant and supportive of one another. As long as Jennifer's fate remains unknown, her case will continue to be a haunting reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of hope in the face of uncertainty. It was a typical Friday night in Columbus, Ohio, and Brian Shaffer, a 27-year-old medical student at The Ohio State University, was ready to unwind after a long week of classes and studying. With spring break on the horizon, Brian decided to join his friends for a night out on the town. The destination of choice was the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a popular bar located near the university campus. Brian and his friends arrived at the bar, eager to kick off the weekend with drinks and good company. As the night wore on, the bar buzzed with activity, the sound of laughter and music filling the air. Brian and his friends enjoyed each other's company, chatting and sharing stories over drinks. But as the evening progressed, something seemed off. Brian's friends noticed that he appeared distracted, lost in thought, as if something was weighing heavily on his mind. Despite their attempts to engage him in conversation, Brian remained distant, his mood noticeably subdued. As the night drew to a close and the bar began to empty out, Brian's friends assumed he had stepped outside or left with someone else. But when they went to look for him, Brian was nowhere to be found, leaving behind only questions and uncertainty. Thus began the baffling mystery of Brian Shaffer's disappearance, a case that would confound investigators and haunt his loved ones for years to come. After Brian's friends searched the bar and its surroundings with no sign of him, they grew increasingly concerned. They tried calling his phone, but it went straight to voicemail. As the minutes turned into hours and Brian failed to return, they realized something was seriously wrong. Panicked, Brian's friends contacted local authorities and reported him missing. Law enforcement officers arrived at the Ugly Tuna Saloona to begin their investigation. They reviewed surveillance footage from the bar's security cameras, hoping for clues about Brian's whereabouts. The footage revealed Brian entering the bar with his friends earlier in the evening, but there was no sign of him leaving. It was as if he had vanished into thin air. Investigators scrutinized every frame of the footage, searching for any hint of Brian's movements after he was last seen inside the bar. Despite their efforts, the surveillance footage offered no answers. There were no sightings of Brian exiting the bar, nor were there any indications of foul play inside. It was as if Brian Shaffer had simply vanished without a trace, leaving behind a perplexing mystery that would only deepen in the days and weeks to come. As news of Brian Shaffer's disappearance spread, the community rallied together to aid in the search efforts. Flyers with Brian's picture and description were distributed throughout Columbus and beyond. Volunteers joined law enforcement in scouring the city from parks and alleys to residential neighborhoods and wooded areas. Investigators delved into Brian's background, interviewing friends, family members, and acquaintances in hopes of uncovering any clues that could shed light on his disappearance. They meticulously reviewed his phone records, financial transactions, and social media activity, searching for any sign of unusual behavior or suspicious activity leading up to that fateful night. Despite the exhaustive efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering determination of Brian's loved ones, the search yielded little in the way of concrete leads. Sightings of Brian were reported from various locations, but each proved to be a dead end upon investigation. As days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, the initial fervor surrounding Brian's disappearance began to wane. The case grew colder, but for Brian's family and friends, the agony of not knowing his fate only deepened with each passing day. They refused to give up hope, clinging to the belief that answers would eventually come to light, and justice would be served for their beloved Brian. Years have passed since Brian Shaffer vanished without a trace, yet the mystery surrounding his disappearance remains as perplexing as ever. Despite countless hours of investigation and extensive searches, no definitive answers have been found, leaving his family and friends with a lingering sense of unease and sorrow. The case of Brian Shaffer has captivated the public's attention, inspiring numerous theories and speculation about what may have happened to him that fateful night. Some believe he met with foul play, while others theorize that he chose to disappear intentionally. Despite periodic media coverage and renewed interest in the case, the truth remains elusive. The once bustling Ugly Tuna Saloona, now closed, stands as a haunting reminder of the events that transpired on that spring night in Columbus. For Brian's loved ones, the passage of time has done little to ease the pain of his absence. They continue to hold on to hope that one day they will uncover the truth about what happened to him and find closure in knowing his fate. As the years go by, the mystery of Brian Shaffer's disappearance endures, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of unanswered questions. Until the day comes when the truth is revealed, his memory will live on in the hearts of those who knew and loved him.